critical, or the point has been excellently made by Professor Gigi Dara. The challenge we have is that, are we going to the national conference for broke? Are we going to adopt a minimalist, consensual, gradualist approach? If we go for broke, then we can as well insist on 100% control. But if we are going to have an arrangement that will move this country further, from where it is today, even if we're not going to be able to get 100% of what we set out to get, then we must begin to look at a revenue sharing arrangement that will be adequate. Fiscal federalism takes meaning in the context of true federalism, a situation in which each of the federating units generates its own resources and we agree to contribute a particular percentage to the central government. If we're going to do that, we can decide and determine which percentage goes to the federal government. It may be difficult for us to sustain 100% resource control. If indeed we are going there to move things forward, not for broke. But these are options that we, as an assemblage of people of the South, should be able to address. I would like to add two very quick elements. They may sound controversial, but I'm persuaded that they are very important. The first one, I believe we should put in the Constitution the right to bear arms. The right to bear arms for self-defense is important. As we speak today, as we speak today, apart from the few weapons in the hands of security people, weapons are in the hands of criminals. And I will cite one out of many examples. Order. I will give out one out of many examples. I'm sure these are not new to us. There was the story of somebody who, okay. The last point is that we should include a withdrawal clause in the Constitution. How do I mean a withdrawal clause? A clause that gives any federating unit the right to exit at any point that it desires to so do. We can take a lesson from Ethiopia, and this is very significant. You recall, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, that Ethiopia was at war for almost half a century, trying to prevent Eritrea from pulling out of Ethiopia. At the end of the day, in the early 90s, Eritrea managed to wriggle out and pulled out of that country. And then Ethiopia sat down and said, why did we have to shed blood for 50 years to prevent an Eritrea that wanted to go from going? Now they wrote a constitution and they put Article 39 that any nation, nationality or people shall have the inalienable right to self-determination, including the right to secede. As we speak, 1995 up to now, there's no region of Ethiopia that has indicated the desire to leave. That is significant. And I say, a simple analogy. If somebody announces today now that we must not get out of this room because there is danger, you see a scramble. But not because we are free to go in and out. We are all sitting down in peace. To end this presentation, I'd just like to say that Nigeria is at a historical point to take a decision. The choices before Nigeria are these. Number one, either we remain as we are with the present structure and arrangement and continue to move in cycles of poverty and insecurity. Number two, to do nothing and allow Yugoslavia to be a reality. Yugoslavia is a situation in which people simply couldn't manage and everybody dispersed. The third is Czechoslovakia or the United Kingdom. Even UK, that is the bedrock of unitary system. In September now, Scotland is going to vote to either leave or stay. Now I'd like to conclude by congratulating and thanking our president again for the good sense and the presence of mind to institute this. If he succeeds with this, he will become a Frederick de Klerk in Nigeria. Frederick de Klerk is somebody who was produced by the apartheid system in South Africa. But he was convinced that the system was not going to survive. The system, like Barracuda, was going to die under his weight. And instituted a process of change that rescued South Africa from certain danger. If good Lord Jonathan succeeds in doing this for Nigeria, he will go down in history, not just as our Frederick de Klerk, but perhaps as a Nobel winner for pride. Thank you, distinguished ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. Thank you. We shall have opportunity to take these all up, digest them when we go into the interactive session. But allow me, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, to try and acknowledge the presence of some very distinguished Nigerians amongst us, and you also count amongst them. I have here a very intimidating list of personalities that have turned up for this very historic occasion. Just before we sign off for lunch, let me just go through a few names. Your Excellency. Yes. Okay. After reviewing this, I still have the problem of choice because the list is long, it is very intimidating, but let me just rush through. We have from Rivers State, Chief Celestine Omehia. We have Chief Charles Harry, and Mr. Tony Oranta had already made his presence known. We have Chief Richard Akinaka, Mrs. Sotonye Fulton, Chief Dumo Lulu Briggs, and His Royal Majesty King Danderson Jaja, the Amainabo of Opobo. I'll just try to look at and bring to your notice a representation from the House of Reps. We have the leader, deputy leader of the House of Reps, the Honorable Leo Ogo is here. We have Honorable Nicholas Mutu. We have the Honorable Ogwefi Ozombachi, Honorable Ndidi Elumelu, Honorable Patrick Ikariale, Honorable Sylvester Obaga, Honorable Toby Okechukwu, the Honorable Warman Ogoriba, Honorable Betty Apiafi, Honorable Patrick Asadu, Honorable Henry Ofongo, Honorable Peace Naji, the Honorable Ambassador Kingsley Ebein, Honorable Tarabayas Okuru, Honorable John Eno, and the Honorable Basi Ewa. From Ebonyi State, we have Right Honorable Nwachukwu Chukwuma, Speaker, Ebonyi State House of Assembly. And in the team from Ebonyi, who came with His Excellency, Elder Professor Chigozie N. Obu, Elder Dr. Izobu Agom, Senator Dr. Ofia Nwali, Dr. Mrs. Adeze Nwuzo, Honorable Tobias Okuru, Honorable Sylvester Okpaga, and Chief FOU Mbam, the SSG from that state. And then from the revered chambers, the Senate of the Federal Republic, we have Senator James Manager, Senator Ifeanyi Okowa, our own Chris Anyanwu, and Odion Ugbesia. Others are Lee Meba, Bode Olajumoke, Isa Brimo. What is this? Okay, we have Senator Bolafi Kunlere Akinyelure. We have our indefatigable Florence Itagewa, Senator Itainan, and our Honorable Uche Epunife. From Abia State, we have Senator Nkechi Nwogu, Senator Iman Nwaka, His Royal Majesty Eze Eberechi Dick, Chairman of Abia State Council of Traditional Rulers. There is the Honorable Chief Mao Ohoabunwa, former Speaker of ECOWAS Parliament, Dr. Chief Greg Ibe, the Chancellor of Gregory University, Uturu, Abia State. They are all from the delegation with the Ochendo. How